We're back to Neil Haley Show. And before we dive into today's exciting interview, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Books to Life Marketing, the team making it all possible. They specialize in helping authors bring their stories to life through expert publishing, marketing, and media exposure. They're behind some of the most inspiring author journeys we've seen. If you're an author looking to elevate your book, Books to Life Marketing is the partner you want in your corner. And our guest today is Kath Orman, and she has a book titled Attitude, Abundance, and Action: How to Create the Motivation, Mindset, and Magic Around Money. You are speaking my language, Kath. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. Yes, it it's all those parts of the book are all important and all go together.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's say, what inspired you to write the book?
Well, I've been a financial planner for a long time, and I had all this input from all these different people and resources, and all at the same time. And I was like, okay, I'll write a book. And it was quite a spiritual type thing that I was having my cards read, and the lady said, "Oh, have you been practicing your signature?" And I went, "Am I signing documents?" She said, "No, no, no, for the book signing. You know, that book you've always wanted to write." And after that, it just clients kept saying, "Kath, you've got to write a book. You've got to write." So here I am. I have.
Well, as of talking to a financial planner, I think you think differently than a lot of them. And I know we're going to get to that based on the topic. How did you
Yes.
find the time to write the book while running a business and looking after clients?
It was a bit of a challenge, I must admit, but I would set time aside. I grew up on a farm, so I'm a very much nature girl. So I would often take myself off into nature to be able to get the right energy to be able to yeah, to create the words that would make a difference.
Yeah, because those words that make the difference and have the time. Very hard, but it's your passion. And I think everything you do is passion, I'm sure, in so many ways. But to write
Yes.
something like this, it's going to benefit people. You're like, okay, I'll put the time in to make sure I can do it.
Absolutely. Well, I started my own business 25 years ago because I wanted to do it my way, because there was more than just the money side of things. And then the book is a way to help more people like I've been able to help my clients.
All right, fantastic. What's more challenging, writing the book or raising a young family as a single mom?
Yes, well, when I started the business, I was newly single with a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. I think the biggest thing was trying to find the balance of time to be everything to everybody. And as a woman, your mind is always on many things at the same time, which can be a bit of a challenge. But yeah, I think the actual writing of the book, just carving out time to do so. But now my kids are adults, so things must have gone well. They're well adjusted, very balanced and grounded human beings. So I must have done something right.
What makes it different to other books written about money? And I already can tell in so many ways from the title.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. It's there's more. It's not just about the numbers. It's about people living their lives to the absolute full, and realizing that sometimes what they've inherited from their parents or grandparents, or the words that they're using, is holding them back, and they keep saying, one day I'll do this and one day I'll do that. So we've brought it forward to say, well, okay, let's make this happen. Let's plan for this. We'll plan for the future, but we'll also enjoy the journey as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Enjoy the process in so many
Yes,
ways because
yes,
I think that money in so many ways people have a bad relationship with money.
yes. And look, I've had clients with hardly, not very much, but we created an environment for them that they could do the things they wanted to, and they were happy people. I've got clients who are very wealthy and may not necessarily be that happy, because it's your attitude and what is abundance to you. It's not just money. And yeah, it's combining all those things together to work out how you can enjoy your life as best possible.
And enjoying that life I get
Mm.
it. So it just basically, just because you don't have as much money, you still can live your passion. Sounds like.
That- Absolutely. But often people think, actually, if you don't mind, can I read just a little bit from the book?
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. So, how to use this book. Have you ever said any of the following? I'm hopeless with money. No matter how hard I work or how much I earn, I never seem to get ahead. I don't know how to budget. I'm always scrambling to pay the bills from one payday to the next. My partner handles all the finances. I'll have to keep working till I'm 90 to have enough to retire. I'll never be able to travel the world. I'm so tired of just making ends meet. I'm just too busy and it's all too hard. Perhaps I'll get around to it one day. It seems others get lucky, but not me. If the answer is yes, the first step is to identify and become aware of your own negative talk. Take note when you hear yourself think or say any of the above, or your own mantra that you've been clinging to for years. So it's sometimes people get so stuck in what they can't do instead of being open and receptive to, hey, what if we could?
And I think, and this is the big thing. I'm sure you talk about this in your book, is
Mm,
that it's how your mind thinks about money in so
yes.
many ways. If you feel like you're constantly are going to find ways to make more money, you're going to. And if you don't, you're going to run into that, oh, I never have enough money
Exactly.
mentality.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it's such a big thing. Even like there's a chapter about body language. I'm quite tall and I've taught my kids to walk tall because
Right.
it's how you present yourself. And from a very early age now, I've got a grandson and I teach him the same thing. What can you tell me about that person? Oh, he looks like a happy man, or she's a sad lady. We carry that with us
Hmm.
and we put that out to the
You're right.
world,
Right.
and it's there for all to see, but you may not realize yourself that where you are.
Absolutely. What are the challenges have had as a female in a male dominated industry? Especially, I don't
Well,
know about, like, we're talking Australia versus United States and female, involved in the financial planning type of thing, but it might be much different in Australia.
well, I've been doing this a long time, and I worked for a major bank, and I had uh, a really wonderful boss who said, Kath, I think you'd be a good financial planner. Go and do your study. And that was a real eye opener to me how long has all this other stuff been going on?
Right.
And later in life, he became a client. But my very first conference was myself and 28 men. And so I was the only female.
Wow.
Yes.
Is it a
And
little
I'm
different in Australia? The,
Well,
the,
it's
the
changing, but that's a number of years ago. There are a lot more female financial planners, and I've always tried to help them along the way. Um, but yeah, when you're 5'10", you stand out anyway. So it was then that I realised, because it's quite natural for men with the maths and the numbers side of things to focus on that. And I was always good with numbers. And I'll tell you a funny, quick little story.
yeah, go
My
ahead.
dad, growing up on the farm, later when I became a financial planner, he said, Katie's a financial planner because I drank beer, because I would keep all his bottle tops and I could add up and take away up to 100 before I went to school. So he took the credit for me being a financial planner. But as I got further into it, I could see the bigger picture, that the money is the tools to live the life, and the
Yes.
choices that you make along the way, we can, have a wonderful life. And it's not just the money, it's the birds, the singing, and
Yeah.
we live in a beautiful country, and all these wonderful things that are also abundance. So
You see those things that are abundance, and that's important to look at that. So, what
Yeah.
wisdom did you receive from your 7-year-old grandson when opening the very first copy of the book?
Well, it's quite a momentous. Like I always said, I have 2 kids. My business was my 3rd child, and my book is like my 4th child. So my daughter said, "Oh, Mum, we have to film you opening it." So the book arrives, the first copy where you've got to check that there's no mistakes or anything like that. And my little grandson said, "Nana, can I help you open it?" Because he was really excited. And so we opened it up, and I'm excited, and he's excited. And I've always had a magic wand in my office. So when I'm,
Oh,
yes. So when I'm seeing a client, and if it's someone who's 40 and says, "Oh, I want to retire tomorrow," and they're not in a financial position to do so, and if I know they've got a sense of humor, I'd get the magic wand and I'd go, bring, and they just look at me and, really? Like, you're a fun, and then they'd laugh. So just to put, because there's a lot of angst sometime and fear about going to see a financial planner and addressing
mhm.
your finances. Anyway, my little grandson went and picked up this magic wand, waved it over the book, and said, "This book will sell more than 1 million copies." And my daughter and I could feel. I know. Because I'm like, how many do I order for my first print run? And here's this little child telling the owner of a business called Goals and Dreams to dream bigger. So yeah, it's, I
So,
know.
to sell those million books, you're gonna have to be doing a lot of book signings. You're right. All over the world. You ready to travel?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's funny, he went to school the next day and told all his schoolmates that his nana's a published author, not she wrote a book, a published author. So yeah, I think children often can show you that wisdom that we might forget along the way.
I think that's an important thing. And I think,
Yeah.
do you share that in your book about believing you can achieve it? If you're in your mindset, you believe it. I'm sure you've worked with lots of clients that
Yes.
are going and journey in their lives and giving them that, advice that you can do this. And that when our mind doesn't think we can accomplish something, we're not going to accomplish it. It doesn't matter how good we are. When our mind
Absolutely.
gets out in the way of things in the subconscious, where you're feeling like this is never happening, it will
Yeah.
never happen. But if you have the word,
That
it will happen on the time of the universe, but it will happen. That's the point.
absolutely. Like a couple of little examples. One young lady, when she first came into me, she said, "I'm hopeless with money." And I'm like, "Well,
Uh,
okay, can we leave that in the past and just put in the past you were hopeless with money.
yeah,
You're here now to new direction and
to
and
change it.
and to change it." And then another quick story, clients who live, well, when they moved from Western Australia to Queensland. So Australia's a big country.
Right.
And when they did their wish list in life, they still had about 15 years to go to retirement. And they said, in retirement, go to New Zealand. Well, Brisbane, where I am, to New Zealand's about a 3-hour flight. So it's not far. And I'm like, "Oh, we'll be doing that a lot sooner." And so we put all the plans in place for longer term to provide for retirement, but also a holiday account. So within 18 months, they went to New Zealand and they sent me a postcard that said, "Thank you for giving us permission." Now, they've only just retired now, but on that journey, they've been to Canada, they've been to Europe, they've done a lot of travel that they didn't think they could do until they were retired. So, quite powerful.
Yeah, and that's what you get. The thing is, as a financial planner or financial advisor, anyone that meets with somebody weekly, you can, or I mean, during the year, you
Yeah.
can really make a difference for them when you're planning for them, not just planning financially, but learning and listening about things. Like you said, some of them don't have a budget. Some of them are not planning for the future. Some of them are in a specific part of their career and they need that guidance. And that's what you've been able to do as a
Yes.
financial advisor. That's fantastic.
Thank
Um,
you.
what impact are you hoping the readers will experience once reading the book?
Well, I've been blessed with some amazing feedback from people. One of the ones that is short and sweet is, "This book changed my life."
Well, that's fantastic.
And that like still gives me goosebumps.
I'm sure.
And in financial planning, I know I've made a difference to a lot of people's lives, but the book was a way to reach more people. And it breaks it down into the different sections, but it's like a workshop all the way through. They've got exercises to do that will really challenge the way they're thinking,
Yeah.
and then the book may be enough, or it's maybe enough to say, go and see a financial planner, because we study long and hard to know all the rules. And did you know that if you do this, this can be more tax effective, and all of those things. So it's depending where people are, it's like a workshop in a book.
A workshop in the book. Interesting. And all right. Um, how does your philosophy of life flow into the book?
Well, I think we all have things happen to us in life, and it doesn't all go along rosy. And I never imagined that I'd be raising two kids on my own and all of those sort of things. But you either learn from it and grow. And I've always been interested in learning more and growing, and what really matters in life, and helping my clients see the things that they're focused on. Perhaps, what brings you joy, what makes you happy, what are the things that, if someone, I remember being able to tell a client who was in a very high position and very stressed, that he could retire 2 years early. And he sat in front of me and a tear rolled down, and now, wow, they've been just having an amazing life. So it's bringing all those things together.
Exactly. And I think that's important. Can you elaborate on the three sections of the book?
Okay, so attitude we've sort of touched on a little bit.
Hmm.
But it's the way you think and the way you feel about things. You might have heard dialogue from your parents or grandparents, "Oh, don't get above yourself," or "Don't think this," or don't, and they do the best that they can, but those words often stay with people and is what's holding them back.
That's right.
And yeah, so it's realizing, what is your attitude towards money, what is your attitude towards life, not
Right.
just money. And there's actually sometimes I see people, grief happens, life happens,
Yeah.
and we're all allowed to grieve. But I've got a little drawing in there, like the pit of misery. Like, we're allowed to go there if something's happening, but don't move in with your couch and the TV. There's a ladder to climb up and the birds are singing, like it. So don't stay there. Allow yourself,
Yeah.
and at different times when stuff's happening in my life, and I'm thinking, I'm going into the pit for an hour. And after 10 minutes, I'm like, I've had enough. I've got to get out of it. So it's all the things that I've learned along the way that I've tried to pass that on to my clients. So the attitude side of things, and then the abundance is, what do you already have that is abundant? What most people don't
Right.
even realize. Like, I live in a beautiful country, you live in a beautiful country. Like, there's just, the whole world there's so many wonderful things and to experience. And like, when I go for my morning walk, even for an Australian, sometimes I see a koala in a tree, and it's exciting.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think it would be exciting.
Yeah, but all the things, listening to bird song, or the joy of family and laughter and music, and all those things. If we have an abundance of that enriches your life so much more, uh, and then you're probably in a much better position. And like, we know when you walk into a room and there's an energetic vibe, and you either see someone you're attracted to that you want to go and talk to them, or someone that you do not want to go near. And it's realizing that we're energetic beings, and we're constantly putting that
Right.
sort of out there. And then the action teaches people about financial things, because as I mentioned before, I worked in a bank and all I knew was loans and term deposits. And then when I started learning all these other areas where you can invest, it was, how long has this been going on? Why did I not know this? And then I take a lot of time to take the fear away from investing and replace it with knowledge. So, and I've been through, all the different ups and downs of, as we're going through now with the dramas in the Middle East and everything. But encouraging people to know, well, if you've got good quality investments and they're diversified and they're in the right place, you'll go through those up and downs, and the long term, you'll have created the life that you want. So, and there's lots of exercises in there too, to, really take that fear away and replace it with knowledge.
And I think that's important. And you talk about it. So this question's great, but I know I have more follow-up questions because we do have some more time for this interview. But how will this book help someone if they have a scarcity mindset? And that scarcity mindset's an interesting thing. A lot of financial planners are never going to ask that question because scarcity is what lots of financial planners live off of their clients in a lot of ways, that they're going to invest most of their money. They're not going to think they're going to make any more money, and they're going to be really close to the vest. And you don't believe in that scarcity mindset. So what do you think how are they going to benefit from that?
Well, like I've just sort of touched on, it's meant to help you understand, really look at where you are, where you want to be, what's on your wish list in life. And if you change your mindset to say, hey, well, maybe this is, maybe this is possible, because I've got decades of history being able to do that with my clients. And when they get a plan and they're on the right path, and like, even their body language, the way they walk into a room, they're like, hey, I'm on a path here. I'm actually going to go to Japan, or whatever is on their list, or buy a new car, or buy a house, or start a family. And it's all that fabric of life, which money is a part of. And the more you stay stuck in that, I can't get anywhere or do anything, the first step is taking the first step. And if I always gave clients homework to go and do things, and a lot of people would say, oh, I knew this stuff was important, but I didn't ever get around to it. When you tell them that they've got, have you got a will? Have you got an enduring power of attorney? Right. Legal documents. And it's really honing in on how to have a better life. And if you want to stay stuck, woe is me, well, I can't help you until you're really ready to help yourself. Right. And that's where the book is a tool for that.
It definitely seems like that. And let's talk about that further. Give an example of people that have scarcity mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me an example of that? Yeah.
Well, where do I start? But probably the simple one, that lady who came and said, I'm hopeless with money. Like, but I don't think she'd even sat down. She just said, I'm hopeless with money. And that's such an important thing to you can't keep hoping for a better past. She was obviously there to make a difference, but her words, once we reframed it and just said, in the past, because we can't keep looking in that rearview mirror and keep hoping for that better past, but we can change where we are and what we're going to do in the future. So if people are willing to make a change in their own life, they can certainly be helped. And I often think, if you pick up a book that says attitude, abundance, and action, and you're ready to receive it, then you're ready. And we've probably been the same. You read a book sometimes, and then you might pick it up later and you read it and you, oh, how did I not get that time? So the teacher arrives when the student is ready. And so hopefully that answers your question.
No, it definitely answers my question and looking at it. And how many people you like saying, if I spend this money, it's never going to come back to me. I have the belief system that money is a tool that we have to use. If we just hold on to it, we're never going to get more of it. And that's the abundance mindset I have. So if I'm spending on something, I know that money's coming back to me very soon. That's me as an entrepreneur believing that. It's a little
Yes.
harder if you're a day-to-day worker with basic income always fixed. That means you always should strive for moving up the corporate ladder or moving up wherever your position is to continue to make more money because we can't, once we're gone, we can't just have all that money stored up for something. So I think that's what you look at as a financial plan, their retirement. How many years do you plan on retiring? Where do you see specific things? And that, yes, you only need this amount. You should start enjoying life before you retire. And I think that's one of the biggest things that you'll talk about in this book is you talked about the one person who went on vacation even before they retired, that you can't just hold on to retirement to do everything.
We have in my office, and it took me a long time to find the right people to pass my business on to, but it was time to do what I've helped all my clients do. But I've called retirement adventurement. So I'm an author in adventurement now. But in our office, there's a huge postcard board, and that's filled with clients who travel to Paris or, and if I got overwhelmed with the compliance of financial planning, I would go and stand there and I help that person get to Paris or the Antarctic or Africa or wherever they wanted to go to. And that just brings so much joy. And for clients who get to a position and then they can go traveling and take their family with them
No
and
doubt.
take the grandkids as well. Yeah, it's the joy that provides.
Because enjoy your money,
Yes,
enjoy
absolutely.
spending it, and enjoy
Yes,
making more of it. And that's
yes.
through
What goes around
planning
comes
and
around.
doing it. And how many, so you counseled many, many people on how they can
Yes,
make more money, not just in the market, but also while they're working, right? Because a lot of them don't
absolutely.
have that huge expectation and the goal. If you do work a few more years, or if you do move up the ladder, if you in that opportunities, you got to
Yes.
always take opportunity and go for it.
Absolutely. Well, I look back sometimes when I think, wow, that was a big thing I did to start my own business from scratch.
Oh, no doubt. And you
But
know, I look at the same thing. If you would have told me X amount of years ago that I'm never going to get paid a salary again,
yeah,
that I am always going to have to live off of what I make.
yeah,
And it's interesting, it's exciting, but the more you develop, the more you know it's coming.
it's empowering.
It's so empowering.
You realize, wow, you need to believe in yourself, and look, and that's why the name of the business, Goals and Dreams, was the reason, the journey that I went through to then write Attitude, Abundance, and Action, so that I could share it with more people.
All
Yeah.
right, so where can people check you out, purchase your book, learn more about you?
Well, I have a website, kathorman.com. The book's available in Australia mainly via the website, but it's also available on Amazon and any good bookstores. And it's currently in the Book to Life marketing store that's just opened in the UK. And I may be going there at some stage to do book signings in the UK, which will be very exciting.
I'm excited for you. That's
Yes,
fantastic.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thank you again, Kath, for coming by.
thank you. And thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
our
All right.
today.
All right.
Okay.
You're welcome. You're listening and watching the Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just